When you defeat Rockwell Prime on Genesis Part 2 on Gamma difficulty, you'll be rewarded with the following Tekgrams. When you defeat him on Beta or Alpha difficulty, you'll unlock the following new Tekgrams that are currently highlighted on the screen, along with the Gamma Tekgrams. So it is recommended to do the highest difficulty so you can get them all at once rather than doing all the difficulties. And then the other Tekgrams that can be unlocked on Genesis Part 2 are by purchasing them with engram points when you reach the required level, which will then allow you to go ahead, use them as well as craft them. Starting off with Rockwell, in order to fight Rockwell Prime on Gen 2, you first need to complete missions on Genesis 2. There are 17 missions, each with 3 difficulties, making a total of 51 missions. Depending on what difficulty you choose to fight Rockwell on, depends on the missions you need to complete. For example, in order to fight the Gamma Rockwell, you need to complete all missions on Gamma difficulty and have 6 Mutagen in your inventory. In order to get Mutagen, you have a few solutions. Your first one is to craft the Mutagen using Mutagel in a chemistry bench. You will need 800 Mutagel in order to get 6 Mutagen. Furthermore, the amount of Mutagel you will need to make enough Mutagen for the boss battle is on the screen right now. The best way to obtain Mutagel is by going into the space biome when there are white drops or orange drops on the map, as these biomes will have Mutagel in them. So if you have a harvesting strider, you'll be swimming in Mutagel in no time. The second way to obtain Mutagel, which is a lot more dangerous than the first one, is when you are inside Rockwell's innards. Now, just below his terminal, you can actually go ahead and collect the Mutagel when the River of Acid is not around. The alternative method to getting Mutagen, which is just as dangerous, is by being in Rockwell's innards again, and you will see the white Mutagen sign. It means that these Mutagen bulbs we are currently looking at have spawned, and when it goes away, it means that there's none left. By collecting this bulb, you'll be given 1 Mutagen and 1 R-Seed, but then an entire army will shortly spawn around you, so unless you get out of there, you're dead. They will spawn every 8 hours on a dedicated server like Official, or every hour if you're on a non-dedicated session like Single Player. However, by defeating Rockwell on any difficulty, we'll make them spawn every 6.4 hours for a dedicated and 48 minutes for undedicated for the duration of that wild effect. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you how to get to Rockwell's innards on Genesis Part 2, which will also allow you to get to Rockwell's Terminal. So I'm going to go ahead and show you the area, and then you'll also see that there's 2 entrances that you can take. I'll be taking the left approach, but you can get the right approach. There's literally no difference. Now, the cave itself is quite dangerous. There's a lot of dangerous stuff in there, so recommend following the pathway, but I also recommend not going into the boss battle area until you're ready to actually fight Rockwell. Now, I'm going to have a link to the wiki below, which gives you detailed information on what the creatures you should be taking into Rockwell's battle, as well as some advice on how to deal with it. So I definitely recommend checking out the wiki if you want to know what creatures to bring to help you to survive the pathway there, as well as what you'll need to actually beat Rockwell so you can easily get these Tekgrams. With that being said though, I'm going to let this rest of it play out, and I'll see you in a second. Going back to the other Tekgrams mentioned earlier, in order to access them, you need to get past the default player level cap, which is 105. In order to do so, there are a few solutions. So assuming you're a new character on Genesis Part 2, you can go ahead and fight Rockwell, and depending on the difficulty you defeat him on, will determine the increase to your player's level cap. So each difficulty increases your player level cap by 5, but these stack. So if you went ahead and did Alpha first, you would then get the 15 player level cap straight away, rather than making you have to do Gamma and Beta as well. Alternatively, if you want to level a chibi to its max rank, that will increase your player's level cap by 5, and then doing Beta Rockwell to get the additional 10 levels, you can then go ahead and get all the purchasable Tekgrams. However, if your character is coming from another map and transferring to Gen 2 by completing the Island Overseer, Aberration Rockwell, and Corrupted Master Controller on Genesis 1, They will also grant you increased play levels, and by defeating all 3 on Alpha, your player count will be increased by 45, allowing you to get all those purchasable Tekgrams straight off the bat. Once you have the levels, you will need a total of 311 engram points. Now, if you do not have enough, just open the HLNA store and go ahead and purchase some engram points. With that said, that is how you get Tekgrams on Genesis Part 2 in Ark Survival Evolved. I hope this video helped you. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the comments.